The final thing I want to talk about with regards to Sacramento is Noble Ape. I have been working on a Noble Ape iPhone app. I've been working on it for the past month. I'm making little changes here, little changes there, big changes here, big changes there. Working towards getting this iPhone app out. It has become such a driving force in my life that, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say I have 2 episodes of Model Rail Radio yet to edit. I've got a Biota podcast yet to edit with Bruce Taylor, which I recorded earlier this week. My podcasting is falling behind every aspect of my life. If it weren't for hanging a plane, believe me, all my time would be spent working on Noble Ape after hours when I get home from work. There are so many little nuances to get right, to get out. Perfection is the enemy here. But at the same point, I want it to be really good. And that is hard. Over the past 2-3 years, I've felt really solidly under assault. And what's curious about this now is that I'm realizing that the antagonist in this thing just doesn't create original names. Everything he has created after Noble Ape in his things has been someone else's name. Such curious things have gone on through this, ending up with one thing called Secrets and Pies, which ironically is a Hasbro property. It's an episode of the My Little Pony series. So his lawyers, in their wisdom, are not buying this intellectual property. They're not blocking Hasbro from Google. They're not blocking Hasbro from Instagram. They've got a light touch tailoring when they're dealing with My Little Pony versus a very, very, very hard touch tailoring when they're dealing with Noble Ape. My aim here, and something that I've actually discovered, I've thought about this. Historically, I used to release the Noble Ape simulation. I used to put it out there, be downloaded by, 4,000 to 10,000, long tail 10,000 people in a sitting per version. Over maybe 4 weeks, 10,000 downloads. In the first few days, up to 4,000. Sometimes I remember even 6,000 in the first couple of days. So there was still a community there consuming this thing. And through the way I work and also my focus on open source, and probably actually just my workaday life, I've stopped doing that. I just work on the source code. But actually doing an app release is something that I haven't done for many years from this thing. Now, if people contact me, I create a Noble Ape app build, pass it on to them, they play with it. But this is putting the idea of Noble Ape back into the general public too, a general public that has not experienced this thing, many of whom have not experienced. The potential there is fascinating, associated with people just downloading this thing and using it as a relaxing game, as something that they can explore and think about and reflect upon, and putting something that is ultimately, from my perspective at least, really precious and seminal back into the public dialogue once again. Through all the expunging and all the other things that I've experienced, the seed of what Noble Ape has been intimate to me, but not been accessible to the general public. And I've realized very quickly and very coherently through working on this iPhone app that it's critical for me to actually put this thing out in a capacity that others can experience it. And the setting in which this is done is of particular importance to me. So I'm spending extra time and extra care making sure that certain things are really right. I'm changing aspects of the simulation that I historically never would have touched in order to make sure that the experience for people when they actually get this app is enough for them to continue to play with it and think about it going forward. That it enters other people's consciousness as it has been part of my consciousness for 23 years. And ultimately, my perspective is this is the only way to address what has occurred in the past 3 years. Now, to be frank, I have gotten permission from my employer to do this. I've taken this really to an extreme level because of the general concerns associated with the malicious behavior of this one individual, but also just the energy, the complete sucking energy that has come through this thing. So what I'm trying to do is juxtapose certain emotions, work my way through this and produce something where people will say, that is Noble Ape. I understand why that is something that is important. Maybe this idea is an extreme. Maybe it is created by everything that has occurred, the kind of pressure cooker environment that I might have experienced over the past few years. But taking these elements, putting them back together, creating something which ultimately I feel has been long overdue, that is important. And that is what will be consuming my time when I'm not producing these podcasts.